Hello and welcome to the zero tutorial of the eKe translation management software. This tutorial shows how the admin user can fill the system with data in order to realize a smooth operation. Sign in as the admin user. In this case, we type admin as username and as password as well. Just below, you find the admin site button. Click on the button and you enter the admin site. On the admin side, you see all the possibilities and settings of the eKe translation management software. You can add users, edit their profiles, add countries, currencies, etc. Let's see how to create a user. Click on the users button in the org field. You can see there are currently 3 users in the system. They all have an email address, a name, and 2 out of the 3 have a staff status. For example, let's see how does the admin user's data look. You can see the fields where we have entered the data about this user. In addition, we can set the staff status, active status, and the super user status. Users given the staff status can log into the admin site. Active status means that the user is able to use the services of the system. Setting a user inactive looks the same as being deleted from the user's view. Super user status means that this user has total control over the software. If none of these settings would fit the desired status of the user, the admin can set all the permissions manually, this way create any kind of a user. If you regularly give the same permissions to users, you can create a group, so the members of the group get the same permissions. We can check the date of the last login and the users joining as well. Let's see another user. Click on the users button on the top left corner of the screen. Let's see the manager's profile. The manager is not a super user, but it has still got a number of permissions thanks to its membership in the manager group. Let's see how you can edit and create groups. Click on the off button on the top of the screen. Now choose groups. There is only one group, the manager group. As it was mentioned, a group means a set of permissions, which you do not have to add to users one by one, but with a single click by adding a user to the desired group. A user can belong to more than one group. Click on a group to know more about it. You can see the name of the selected group on the top of the screen, the available permissions on the left, which you can grant to the members of the group, and the chosen permissions on the right, which are already granted. To add a permission, click on it in the left box, and click on the left to right arrow in the middle. To cancel a permission, click on it, and then on the right to left arrow. You can find detailed information about permissions in the text manual. Those users who do not have a staff status cannot enter the admin site, therefore they cannot use any of the permissions listed here. Now let's see how the program stores information about contacts. In the top left corner of the screen, click the Home button to get to the main menu of the admin site. Choose the Person Profiles button in the Contacts field. Here you can see a brief set of information about all the persons you are contacted to. Let's see the information about the admin user. The required fields are written in bold letters. You can see the title, the name, and the username of the person. You can choose any existing username in the system for a user, and remember, permissions are connected to usernames, and usernames are connected to person profiles. Language preference means the language in which you would like to read this website. Contact groups are different from the groups used for giving permissions for similar users. Contact groups align persons with similar features. For example, you can send emails for all the members of a group by simply selecting the name of the group. Thus you can avoid adding them one by one. If you want to add a new person profile, click Contacts at the top left of the screen and then Add a person profile. We present how to add a new French translator to the user list. You can easily set the required information, but the user does not have a username in the system. You can simply solve this problem by clicking the green cross near the system username field, and the proper window pops up to create the new username. You only have to enter a username and a password. You can deal with the status settings, permissions, and the email addresses later. When ready, click the Save button, and the new username is already set in as a username for the new profile. You can set the language preference, the email address, and you can add the person to some contact groups. After giving the required pieces of information, click the Save button. You can see that the newly created profile was added to the list. Let's see the usernames list as well. Click the Home and then the Users button. You can find a new username in the list. There are a lot of more possibilities to store information about users, but those will be discussed in further tutorials. There are other important tasks left for the admin user. For example, filling the L10 module. The countries are already uploaded, as you can see by clicking on the button. All countries of the world are added, but if you want to change the list, you can delete or retrieve any of them. Here the second task is the issue of currencies available in the program. The default currency is the euro. Let's add Hungarian forint as a second possibility. Click Add Currency in the top right corner of the screen. Then give the name and the abbreviation of the desired currency. When done, click Save, and HUF appeared as an option. The third thing is to set the language selection. Click L10 in the top of the screen and then Languages. There are 3 languages, but we are sure you would like to widen this range. To do it, click Add Language in the top right corner. Let's add Hungarian. Type in the name and the ISO code and click Save. You can see Hungarian was added to the list of languages. These are the tasks related to the L10 module. Now let's prepare the revenue module. Click Home and then Items in the revenue box. Here you can set the price of given items. The existing item is the price of the English-German translation per character in euro with 20% tax. Let's add a new item. Click the Add Item button. Give CN/CPA number, the title, the default price, the quantity units, the tax and the currency. If you would like, you can add the currency from here as well by clicking the green cross near the currency field and decide if it is income or expense by ticking the income box. These items can be used when you are creating an invoice, but you will be able to create an item from the invoicing screen as well. Click the Save button. We can see that the newly added item appeared on the list. Basically, these are the tasks an admin user has to deal with to prepare the program for operation. For comparison, we would like to show you the admin side with a manager user, so you could see that the other users have a simpler interface, and to show that they have a more restricted authorization than the admin user. Log out in the top right corner, and let's log in from the front page again, but this time as a manager. The password is the same as the username, manager and manager. You can see that there are less fields and possibilities, because this site contains only those items which are useful for the managers. For example, managers cannot add users, give permissions, etc. Even if a manager clicks on the Add Person Profiles button and would like to create a new system username, a permission denied message appears. This was the 0 tutorial of the eKe translation management software. We hope that it proved to be useful. Please continue with the following tutorial.